From the classic aesthetics of the 1950s to the mass monsters of today, each era has left its unique mark on the sport. But which decade truly reigns supreme? Is it the golden age of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Franco Columbu, the era of mass monsters with Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman, or the modern-day titans like Phil Heath and Big Ramy? The 1950s marked the golden age of bodybuilding. This era was dominated by legends like Steve Reeves and Reg Park. The focus was on achieving a classic symmetrical physique with broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and well-defined muscles. Training routines were basic but effective, with an emphasis on compound movements like squats, bench presses, and deadlifts. Workouts typically consisted of full-body routines performed 3 times a week. Nutrition was straightforward, focusing on whole foods like meat, eggs, milk, and vegetables. The use of supplements was minimal, with some athletes taking liver tablets and basic protein powders. In the 1960s, bodybuilding started gaining more popularity, thanks to figures like Larry Scott and Sergio Oliva. The introduction of the Mr. Olympia competition in 1965 gave bodybuilders a new platform to showcase their physiques. Training became more sophisticated, with bodybuilders experimenting with different techniques and routines. Split routines, where different muscle groups were trained on different days, became more common. Nutrition also saw advancements, with supplements like protein powders and amino acids becoming more common. The emphasis was on high-protein diets to support muscle growth. The 1970s are often referred to as the golden era of bodybuilding, thanks to the rise of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, and Lou Ferrigno. These athletes brought unprecedented size and definition to the stage. Training split routines became popular, often involving high-volume workouts with multiple exercises per muscle group. The use of anabolic steroids began to rise, enhancing muscle growth and recovery. Nutrition included more precise macronutrient planning, with a focus on protein, moderate fats, and controlled carbohydrates. Supplements like protein powders, amino acids, and vitamins played a bigger role in achieving the desired physique. In the 1980s, bodybuilding became even more commercialized with the introduction of the Arnold Classic and other major competitions. Lee Haney dominated this era with his incredible symmetry and size. Training intensity increased, with techniques like drop sets, supersets, and forced reps becoming more common. The wider principles, a set of training guidelines, were widely adopted. Nutrition was heavily focused on low-fat diets, with an emphasis on lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, and minimal fats. The supplement industry boomed with the introduction of creatine, more advanced protein powders, and pre-workout formulas. The 1990s brought a new level of mass and conditioning to the sport. Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman were the key figures, known for their massive size and shredded physiques. Training became extremely intense, with a focus on high volume and heavy lifting. Techniques like HIIT, high-intensity training, popularized by Dorian Yates, became more prevalent. Nutrition was precise, with a balance of macronutrients and an emphasis on meal timing and supplements. Bodybuilders followed strict diets year-round, incorporating carb cycling and other advanced dieting strategies. The 2000s saw bodybuilding continue to grow, with Ronnie Coleman taking over the first half of the decade, and Jay Cutler and Dexter Jackson leading the way in the second half. The physiques became even more massive, and conditioning reached new heights. Training techniques continued to evolve, incorporating more advanced methods like periodization and undulating training. Nutrition was highly specialized, with athletes working closely with nutritionists to optimize their diets. Supplements played a significant role, with products like BCAAs, fat burners, and more advanced pre-workouts becoming staples in a bodybuilder's regimen. The 2010s brought more diversity to bodybuilding with the introduction of categories like men's physique and classic physique. Phil Heath dominated the Mr. Olympia stage with his incredible aesthetics and muscle density. Training and nutrition were more science-based than ever, with athletes using data and technology to fine-tune their approaches. Advanced techniques like time under tension, functional training, and mobility work became more common. Nutrition strategies included precise macronutrient counting, meal prepping, and the use of cutting-edge supplements to maximize performance and recovery. Today, Bodybuilding is a global phenomenon with athletes from all over the world. The sport continues to evolve, with new training techniques, nutritional strategies, and technologies emerging every year. Social media has also played a huge role in the sport's growth, allowing athletes to share their journeys and inspire millions. Whether you're a fan of the classic physiques of the 1950s or the massive muscle monsters of today, bodybuilding has a rich history that continues to inspire and amaze. The dedication, discipline, and passion of bodybuilders over the decades have paved the way for the sport's ongoing evolution. I personally am a fan of the golden era, especially due to Frank Zane's well-balanced and not overwhelming physique. Let me know in the comments which era you think is the best.